All right, so get this. We're diving into the world of Nobel Prizes today, but with a twist. You've sent us a collection of articles that have got us thinking. Can we even talk about achievement in 2024 without talking about AI?
It's like we're witnessing a clash of titans, human ingenuity,
Right.
which has driven progress for centuries, suddenly face to face with this wave of AI-driven discovery. It's fascinating.
Right. And, this show is all about digging deeper. We've got articles here about Alfred Nobel himself, the history of the prizes, and, of course, this year's winners, many of whom have a connection to AI. It's a lot to unpack.
It certainly is. But what I find most interesting is the underlying question these articles pose. What do these prizes, these symbols of human achievement, even mean in a world where AI is becoming such a powerful force?
Okay, let's unpack that. But first, let's set the stage. We've got to start with the man himself, Alfred Nobel. It's kind of a wild story, right? He invents dynamite, sees its potential for destruction, and then dedicates his fortune to celebrating peace and progress. Talk about a plot twist.
It does sound like something out of a movie. But, to really understand Nobel's motivation, we have to consider the context of his time. Dynamite back then wasn't just seen as a weapon. It was a tool for construction, for mining, for literally reshaping the landscape.
So when that reshaping took a dark turn, when dynamite was used in warfare causing unimaginable devastation, Nobel was understandably shaken.
Exactly. And that's where the Nobel Prizes were born. It was his attempt to counterbalance the destructive potential he had unleashed. Imagine feeling that kind of moral responsibility, wanting your legacy to be about something more than just the power to destroy.
And he certainly achieved that. The Nobel Prizes have become synonymous with recognizing the best of humanity. Those who confer the greatest benefit to humankind, as he put it, which back in 1895 probably didn't involve algorithms.
That's an interesting point, and yet here we are, over a century later, and AI is front and center in several of this year's Nobel Prizes. Take the Chemistry Prize, for example, awarded to Hassabis and Jumper for developing AlphaFold. This AI essentially cracked the code of protein folding, a problem that had stumped scientists for 50 years.
Okay, so why is that such a big deal? Break it down for me like I'm 5.
Imagine being able to design a new drug or treatment with pinpoint accuracy, targeting specific proteins involved in a disease. That's the potential of AlphaFold. It's like having a roadmap to understanding the very building blocks of life itself.
Wow, that's incredible. And then there's the Physics Prize, awarded to Hopfield and Hinton for their work on neural networks, which, as I understand it, is basically the foundation for the AI explosion we're seeing today.
That's right. What's remarkable is that their groundbreaking work happens decades ago. They were pioneers laying the groundwork for the AI applications we now often take for granted.
It really highlights how scientific progress builds on itself, doesn't it? It's not always about those big, flashy discoveries. Sometimes it's about the quiet, persistent work that happens in the background, often over decades.
Exactly. And speaking of recognizing a lifetime of work, let's talk about this year's Peace Prize, awarded to Nihon Hidankyo, a group of survivors of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombings.
Their story is incredibly powerful. They've dedicated their lives to advocating for nuclear disarmament, constantly reminding the world of the devastating human cost of these weapons.
And in a world grappling with new forms of conflict and potential destruction, their message feels more relevant and urgent than ever.
It really makes you think about the different forms that conferring the greatest benefit to humankind can take, doesn't it? It's not always about scientific breakthroughs or technological advancements. Sometimes it's about the simple yet profound act of bearing witness and speaking truth to power.
Absolutely. And that brings us to a fascinating juxtaposition. The Literature Prize awarded to South Korean author Han Kang.
Her work explores themes of vulnerability, the human experience, the connection between mind and body, concepts that feel incredibly relevant in this age of AI, wouldn't you say?
It's like she's holding up a mirror to what it means to be human in a world increasingly dominated by technology. While AI excels at processing information and making logical connections, Kang's work reminds us of the power of emotions, the complexities of human relationships, the things that even the most advanced algorithms can't replicate, at least not yet.
It begs the question, in a world where AI can generate text that's practically indistinguishable from human writing, what does it mean for a human author to win such a prestigious award?
Now, that's a question worth pondering as we delve deeper into the implications of AI and its impact on the very definition of human achievement. It's like these Nobel Prizes are holding up a mirror to us, don't you think? They're making us confront some really big questions about what it means to achieve something in a world where AI is becoming so prevalent.
It is a bit unsettling, isn't it? Like if an AI can write a novel that wins awards or make a scientific discovery that changes the world, What does that say about the value of human creativity and ingenuity? Are we becoming obsolete?
That's a fear that comes up a lot in these articles, and it's understandable. But I think it's important to remember that AI at its core is a tool. And just like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
So are you saying we shouldn't be worried about AI at all?
Not quite. There are definitely valid concerns that we need to address. One of the biggest ones is the potential impact on the job market. If AI systems can perform tasks that currently require human intelligence, what does that mean for the future of work?
Okay, I see what you mean. But let's flip the script for a second. These articles also highlight the incredible potential of AI to solve some of the world's biggest problems, right?
Absolutely. Think about it. AI could help us develop renewable energy sources, cure diseases, even personalize education. The possibilities are staggering.
That's the kind of optimism I like to hear. It's like, yeah, AI has the potential to be disruptive, but it also has the potential to be unbelievably beneficial.
Exactly. It all comes down to how we choose to develop and use this technology. And that's where things get really interesting, because it requires us to have some tough conversations about ethics, about values, about what kind of future we want to create.
So we're not just talking about code and algorithms here. We're talking about philosophy and morality.
Precisely. We need to be asking ourselves big questions like, how do we ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly? How do we prevent bias from creeping into AI systems? And how do we make sure that the benefits of AI are shared equitably?
Those are some heavy questions. It feels like we're entering uncharted territory.
In many ways we are, but that's also what makes this such an exciting time to be alive. We have the opportunity to shape the future of AI in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? Where do we even begin?
Well, one crucial step is to increase transparency in AI development. We need to understand how these algorithms work, what data they're being trained on, and what biases they might be perpetuating.
Especially when it comes to things like scientific research, right? If AI is going to play a role in Nobel Prize-worthy discoveries, we need to make sure that the results are sound and unbiased.
Absolutely. And it's not just about science. Think about AI's potential impact on art, literature, even the awarding of prizes itself.
Hold on. Are you suggesting we might one day see an AI nominated for a Nobel Prize?
It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. We're already seeing AI create art and literature that's incredibly sophisticated, so it's not inconceivable that an AI could eventually produce work that meets the criteria for a Nobel Prize.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. But it also raises so many questions, like would an AI even be eligible for such an award? And if so, what would that say about the nature of human achievement?
These are the kinds of questions that we need to start grappling with now, because one thing is clear. The line between human and artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly blurry.
So where does that leave us? Are we headed towards a future where human ingenuity is overshadowed by AI? Or can we find a way for these two forces to coexist and even complement each other?
Those are the million-dollar questions, aren't they? And while we may not have all the answers yet, I think it's important to remember that we have agency in this. We have the power to shape the future of AI in a way that aligns with our values and aspirations.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential benefits and the risks of AI, but it feels like we're dancing around a really big question here. You mentioned earlier the idea of creating new Nobel Prize categories. To reflect this changing world where AI plays such a big role, what would that even look like?
It's an idea that's gaining traction, especially among those who believe that the existing categories, while prestigious, don't fully capture the breadth of what it means to achieve something remarkable in the age of AI.
So instead of just recognizing, say, breakthroughs in physics or medicine, we'd have prizes for like best AI-assisted climate change solution or most innovative use of AI in education.
Exactly. It's not about diminishing the value of traditional disciplines. It's about recognizing that AI is creating entirely new fields of endeavor, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in ways we never could have imagined before.
And wouldn't that also force us to redefine what we mean by human achievement? If AI is playing a significant role in these groundbreaking discoveries, are we talking about a shared achievement between humans and machines?
That's the heart of the matter, isn't it? It challenges us to reconsider the very nature of ingenuity, of creativity, of what it means to be human in a world where we have these incredibly powerful tools at our disposal.
So where do we go from here? How do we navigate this uncharted territory where the lines between human and artificial intelligence are becoming increasingly blurred?
It's a journey, not a destination, right? But I think the key is to embrace both the excitement and the uncertainty of this new era. We need to be willing to adapt, to learn, to evolve our thinking alongside these technological advancements.
It's like we're learning to dance with a new partner. one that's constantly changing and evolving.
That's a great analogy. And just like with any dance partner, communication is key. We need to be having open and honest conversations about the implications of AI, about the ethical considerations, about the kind of future we want to build together.
And that's something we can all participate in, right? It's not just up to the scientists and the policymakers. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
Absolutely. By staying informed, engaging in these conversations, and demanding transparency and accountability from those developing AI, we can help ensure that this technology is used for good.
It's about finding that balance, embracing the potential of AI while also safeguarding our values and ensuring that it ultimately serves humanity.
Precisely. And who knows, maybe someday we'll be looking back at this moment as the dawn of a new era of human achievement, one where AI helped us unlock our full potential and create a brighter future for everyone.
That's a thought-provoking note to end on. So to our listeners, as you go about your week, we leave you with this. How would you define achievement in the age of AI? And what role do you want to play in shaping this brave new world? Keep those questions in mind. It's something we'll all be grappling with for years to come.